Hello, welcome back to Called to Homeschool with me, Meg Thomas, your homeschool guide and guru. And as I like to now tell people, I'm a professional mom. I don't get paid for that last one, but it's my favorite of all my jobs. Friends, how in the world are you doing? How is your summer going? I love summer. I love being warm, I love sunshine, being in the water. All those things make me so happy. Also, in 4 to 6 weeks, I'm going to be a grandma, and I'm so excited about my newest granddaughter. And my daughter in law said it was okay that I could post pictures of her. So I will definitely be sharing all of those beautiful pictures with you on the grams. So I hope you're as excited about that as I am. Our summer school schedule is going well. We've just been doing school 3 times a week, and I've really enjoyed that. We've done different things throughout different years, and just doing school 3 times a week, and then we take off if the boys go somewhere, if I'm gone, right? And it feels like a really nice, lovely schedule. So really been loving our homeschool this summer. Great reminder also for those of you homeschooling this fall, whether you're new or you've been homeschooling for a long time, teach your kids some really good habits to make homeschool easier this fall. So some of the things I'm having George work on is cooking for himself. That's a really big one for breakfast. He will just not eat if somebody doesn't make him breakfast. And so normally there have been enough big people here to cook for him for breakfast, but my two girls will be moving out. And so it'll just be the 14-year-old and myself and my husband. And my husband usually starts work by the time we're eating breakfast, and his brother will have some classes in the morning. So it'll just be the two of us. And I thought, I don't want to be committed to make breakfast every morning. So that's one of his things. He also gets to learn how to use the push lawnmower. And when we first started, we call it Summer of George. That's a Seinfeld reference, but his name really is George. So it worked. When I threw out the idea, he was in a really grumpy mood. So he's like, this is stupid. I hate this. And then he was in a great mood the next day during school. And he's like, ooh, should I learn how to make eggs today? And I thought, wait, what a minute. Wait a minute. So just a reminder, my kids get grumpy too. They're humans also. And have just learned to roll with it. So a couple weeks ago, I did a Q&A podcast, and I loved it. I had so much fun. And so I have now added a link on my Instagram bio where you can ask me any question. And it has now been updated in my email newsletter, also a link where you can ask any question and I can talk about it here on the podcast because I tend to be long-winded. And so sometimes answering a really quick answer in Instagram or Facebook just or an email, I just feel like I need to talk about it. And my husband knows, like, do you need to just talk for a minute and get like all your thoughts out? And I think, yes, thank you. So we're going to be adding that into the podcast, and I'm super excited about that. So this first question comes, I'm just doing one question today. I'm going to kind of do a short and sweet episode because it is summertime and maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed, and so let's just keep it simple. So this question comes from Denmark, and I'm going to read it to you and then I'm going to give you my thoughts about it. So she says, I'm homeschooling my 2 out of 3 kids. The last one is still just 4 years old. We live in Denmark where it's only 2,000 people that do it out of 6 million. It can sometimes feel vulnerable finding good friends for my girls, but also finding other mothers that share the same values as us. I'm Christian and would love for my girls to have more Christian friends, but the fact is that a lot of people that homeschool here are also very hippie ish. I don't know how to describe it. They have a lot of different values than us. Any tips on how to find a good network or a group of people that to meet up with once in a while? I'm getting a little bit weary of difficult people or people that are so far away in how we think life should be. We love homeschooling and are going to keep doing it, but it would be lovely to meet kindred spirits. Awesome. Such a great question because no matter where you live, I have heard questions, variations of this. So I just happen to live in Utah County, and there's a lot of homeschoolers here, right? And so there's a lot of groups I could join, park days I could do. Like there's a lot of people here. But I know some of you will message and you live in a state with not a lot of homeschoolers or a very rural area. So this is very applicable whether you're in the US or whether you're out of the US, trying to find your people. And so when I first read this question, I'll be honest with you, the coach in me, and I don't know if there's a language barrier or anything like that, but the coach in me almost could feel a victimy mindset with it. It's like, it's not fair. And this is why it's so hard. And those are my excuses. And this is why I can't do it. And if you come into anything with this attitude of, I don't know what I'm doing, this is so hard. They're different people, they're difficult people. All of these things feels vulnerable finding good friends. If you are stuck in that mindset, you will not find it. Friends, if you have that mindset, and I'm not even saying that mindset is wrong or bad and you should get rid of it, right? But just understanding if you are stuck in that mindset, you will not be able to make any forward progression. So, first and foremost, playing with the idea of what if I could find it? What if I need to create it? And playing with some ideas just to simply open up your mind to possibilities. Because when we are in this negative mindset, your brain literally closes down and cannot think of solutions, right? So if you're in fight or flight, I'm being chased. I am not seeing anything else. I am not seeing a sale at the store. I'm not noticing that there's food in my teeth or anything crazy like that, right? Like I'm just trying to get out of danger. It's interesting. I don't even know if I've ever talked about this. In high school, I was in a really bad car crash. Our car rolled a lot and I got knocked out and I was in the car for a while before I came to, and they called the ambulance, and I climbed out of this car and I had broken my whole face. My nose was broken. I'd bit a hole through my mouth. Like I am just profusely bleeding. I had butted the windshield and I had broken this left arm, and I am climbing out because my side is the side that is down on the ground, and I am climbing out of this car on my broken wrist, covered with blood, glass, all the things. I have rug burn all over my body because I was not wearing a seatbelt. So, like, I got thrown around like a rag doll in there. I climbed out of that car in complete fight or flight shock. And never once did my wrist hurt me or anything part of my body hurt me as I was climbing out of the car. And the only thing I remembered is I had fake nails at the time. And I'm like, dang it, I broke a nail. And I remember there was a kid I was dating and I was sitting next to him. And I remember looking over at him and I go, is there blood on my face? And bless his heart that he looked at me and goes, oh no, you're fine. And then as the night like went on and realization came, right? Like I had bit a hole through my face, like stitches, broken things, like it was a mess. The point of the story is when you were in fight or flight, you don't notice those things. So I did not notice climbing on a broken hand that my hand was broken. They didn't do stitches on my hand and my arm, but they were pretty intense cuts that were trying to decide. My face was a mess. I wish I could find some of these pictures to even show you, right? But the point is when you are in that fight or flight, you cannot see anything else, right? Like complete oblivion, oblivious to all of these other things. And then when I came out of it, all of a sudden I could see things. Feel things. So my point with that story was not to just tell you my cool car crash story, but to tell you that when you are in that negative fight or flight space, you cannot see options. You cannot see everything that is going on. And it is not a problem. You can totally stay there, but know that it is optional, right? That are you willing to feel vulnerable to find good friends for your girls? Are you willing to feel nervous and scared to create something amazing? Are you willing to step into this area of discomfort to create something that you want? So you have to remember that I am kind of coming up on my 18th year of homeschooling. So 18 years ago this summer is when we started. And there was not the group of homeschoolers that exists now in my area back then. I got to be part of the pioneer process. We homeschooled before it was cool. We homeschooled in secret, where I'm like, don't tell people we homeschooled, right? You get to, like, this could be a really empowering thing for you. Like, the thing I want doesn't exist. How can I create it? What could that look like? And I've talked about my cute friend Kate, where she created a homeschool co-op that fit her needs, what she wanted. We had to watch stuff with Well-Educated Heart and be informed with that. We had to, I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I know we had to do Well-Educated Heart, but oh, and the kid has to be 12 plus. Like little kids can tag along if you have an older sibling and mom comes with the younger kid, right? Like she was very clear with what she wanted to create, more of a drop off situation. So moms weren't overwhelmed, and she created it. And it's been awesome. And it just gets better and better each year. So with this, if you're in this spot, like, well, I'm weary of difficult people. Well, guess what? Sometimes people are difficult. So are you willing to put forth the effort to then find these relationships for your girls, right? You're going to run into some lemons. You're going to run into some people that just aren't your people. And that's okay. You're going to run into people that are like, ooh, homeschool and you're Christian. Do you not know? Like, we believe in this other thing that you call hippie-ish, right? You're going to run into the wrong people in order to find the right people. And when you have that courage, Like, I have courage to be vulnerable to finding the right people for my girls. I have courage to sift through difficult people to find people that are easygoing or that are my people. And when you get in this mindset, the ideas will start coming. Okay, what can we do? Maybe there aren't a lot of people in our area. Maybe there are, and I just don't know that they might, like a person a few doors down the street homeschools. Maybe that means I'm putting out ideas on Facebook, creating a Facebook group. I'm posting on social media. I'm actively looking for these people. Maybe it's going to look different. So maybe they're not super close to you, but you could do like, let's do once a month where we get together and then weekly we do Zoom stuff. And if we want it to be with a really strong Christian base, like we're doing Bible study, we're doing scripture stories, we're going to do value based stuff because these are what the things that are important to me. And when you put that out, like, this is what I love, this is what important to me, you are going to attract those people. And you get to be a pioneer in this area, and this is for anybody in a rural area, you get to be the pioneer of creating something amazing. So, friends, if you are in a place that doesn't have a lot of homeschoolers, you're looking for your community and it doesn't exist, maybe this is God calling you to be that person to create it and to have the courage to go through with it and create something amazing. Friends, that's the episode for today. Please, if you have your questions, make sure you message me. There's a form to fill out either in Instagram or in my email, and I'm happy to just answer your questions here. And I love you all. Have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you next time.